I'm here at the greatest place on earth. About to begin with Allah's leave, one of the most important acts in Islam, Al-Hajj. Hajj is a series of rites that commemorates immense sacrifice. The sacrifices of our father Ibrahim, his son Ismail, and his wife Hajar alayhi salam. It is impossible to be at Hajj this year without what is happening in Gaza being at the forefront of the mind of the Muslim. Indeed, one feels somewhat hollow as to how we could be engaging in these acts of worship in our millions, with an incredible show of force, with an incredible show of this Ummah's fervor for Islam, and yet we are not even able to lift a finger to save our brothers and sisters. This is a feeling that I feel is widespread. I'm seeing it shared and felt by many of the Hujjaj from all around the Ummah. People with their phones open looking at the news and what's going on, people seeing pictures and photos and reels on Instagram of what is happening in real time to our brothers and sisters in Palestine. How do we as believers make sense during this season of what is going on? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Subhana alladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-Masjid Al-Haram ila al-Masjid Al-Aqsa alladhi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu min ayatina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, praise be to the one who took his servant from al-Masjid Al-Haram, where I stand, to the farthest mosque, Masjid Al-Aqsa, whose surroundings he has blessed. As believers, we believe that the area of Palestine, of Al-Quds, is blessed. The people of Gaza are blessed. The people of the West Bank are blessed. This is a divine issue for Muslims. The sanctity and importance of that site, Masjid Al-Aqsa, and the lands that surround it is so great that it is one of only two masajid mentioned in the Quran, in the verse that I just recited. There are no other mosques mentioned by name. Not even Masjid Al-Nabawi is mentioned by name in the Quran. Such is the exalted rank of Masjid Al-Aqsa. So for a believer to see what is happening when behind me stands the most beautiful place in Islam, the Kaaba, about which Rasulullah ﷺ said that you are beautiful, and he described it in a wonderful hadith in terms of its beauty, its greatness. And yet he went on to say that the rights and the well-being and the blood of a Muslim are more sacred to Allah than that Kaaba. And I tell you this, brothers and sisters, having walked in there a couple of days ago for the first time after a couple of years, there is nothing like the first sight of the Kaaba. There is nothing like the beauty of the Kaaba. There is nothing like the magnificence of the Kaaba. The videos and photos that we see all the time do not go close to doing it justice. What a believer feels in their heart when they walk in this gate for the first time is incredible and difficult and impossible to describe in words. And yet, Rasulullah ﷺ told us that the blood and the rights of a Muslim are more important to Allah than that beautiful place. It is difficult to process the sheer calamity that has befallen the people of Gaza. In plain sight of the entire world, the barbarity meted out to our brothers and sisters has left us devoid of words to describe what is going on. You see, when the peak of the oppression that Rasulullah ﷺ felt reached its climax, he was banished from this valley, from the Kaaba, to a valley a couple of kilometers away. And he had to spend 3 years there, it is said according to some narrations, where he was given no food, where he was boycotted by his people, the Quraysh, and he had all forms of sustenance removed from him. This is a similitude to what our brothers and sisters are facing at the moment. And this was the peak of the oppression that Rasulullah ﷺ and his companions faced. And it got to the level that these companions, these resolute individuals, would say to Rasulullah, Mata Nasrullah? When is the help of Allah coming? When is the help that you keep telling us will come? When will that help come? And Rasulullah ﷺ responded, Ala inna nasrullahi qareeb, that indeed the help of Allah is near, and verses were revealed to give the believers confidence. As great as this calamity seems, as incredibly indescribable as this genocide is, we know that this is the ultimate test for the ultimate people. The people of Gaza have shown us that they are willing to give the ultimate sacrifice. The incidents recently of Dr. Ala and her entire family being wiped out, 8 children and her husband being wiped out in the one strike. For this family of heartfelt, for these families of lovers of the ahadith of Rasulullah ﷺ, this goes to the heart. It is a metaphor for what these people are. So many of these people, you hear them saying, Allah is sufficient for us, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. They're not calling on others to even step in and help. 1.5 weeks ago, some brothers from Syria walked in behind me into that gate. Their first sight of the Kaaba after the liberation of Syria following the civil war. And those scenes became viral all around the world as these brothers, many of them without limbs, raised their hands in shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have full confidence that in our lifetime, as we have seen the ease and freedom that our brothers have achieved in Syria, so too will the people of Gaza achieve that same freedom. So too will the people of Gaza achieve that same liberation.